The liberal Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, acting against history and its obvious, inclinations, it will allow the Trump administration to continue construction of the border wall along our southern border with Mexico in a 2-to-1 ruling. The Ninth Circuit said the Department of Homeland Security can build border wall prototypes, replace 14 miles of barriers near San Diego. Meanwhile, California's left-wing anti-Trump governor, Gavin Newsom, announcing he will withdraw nearly 400 of the state's National Guard troops stationed along the southern border with Mexico. A new Gallup poll shows 42 million Latin Americans want to come to the United States to live. 5 million of them want to move to our country in the next year. Joining us tonight, Tom Homan, former acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Fox Business contributor. Tom, good to have you with us.
How you doing?
Great. Jessica Vaughan, director of policy at the Center for Immigration Studies. Good to have you with us. Jessica, let's begin with you. 5 million want to come here in the next year. The president wants to build a barrier wall, and all of a sudden the Dems have decided they won't give him the money to build the wall, which was supposed to be a negotiation of good faith. And oh yeah, 16,500 beds, which means anyone over that will not be detained, whether they're a murderer, a rapist, whatever the situation. Your reaction?
Well, this is their enactment of abolish ICE only in slow motion by starving ICE and making it impossible for them to do their jobs the way they need to be done. ICE is already overwhelmed with a huge caseload of criminal aliens. There are about 2 million criminal aliens living in the country today, and a lot of them are at large. And so detention is really critical to their mission, and the Democrats know that.
But this is... You're right, it's about ICE, but Tom, this is about the United States. What the Democrats are saying is that murderers and rapists and serious criminals over the number of 16,500 can't be detained.
Yeah, you look at the facts, look at the real numbers. Last year, ICE arrested 138,000 criminals. So if you give them 16,000 beds, what are they going to do with the other 112,000? They're going to be released back in the community. If you look at recidivism rates, over half will reoffend the first year, and 75% will reoffend within 5 years.
So, why in the world is the Trump administration asking for only 52,000 beds then?
Look, 52,000 beds would be the most beds they ever had.
I got it, Tom, but it isn't enough because we got a bigger problem. And and if the president's going to declare a national emergency, we're going to deal with the problem. Let's deal with the whole damn problem.
Right. Look, I don't disagree with you, Lou. ICE needs more beds. And you know what? Let's bring that up one point. ICE has asked for more beds every year and never get the beds. The Congress never funded for beds. And the last year, when the president gave the secretary permission to reallocate money from FEMA and other programs like Coast Guard, everybody had a fit. But does everybody know during the 8 years of Obama administration, we reprogrammed money 7 of the 8 years? ICE has never been budgeted for the proper amount of beds, let alone try to cut them in half. So if this happens, ICE has got 15,000 people more than the Dems want to give them, and that's half the year is over. To get to that number, they got to be 15,000 less than the number the Dems want to give them to average at the end of the year, which means ICE will release 30,000 people, Lou. 30,
including murders, rapists, and serious criminals.
Yes.
And meanwhile, ICE has to go back out chasing. It makes not a lick of sense. I don't think the American people know that under the Obama administration, this level was set. And that means that the worst kinds of criminals are being set free because of a stupid cap that was put together under the Obama administration. Why don't we say that straight up? Another Obama policy that is anti-American citizen.
Look, I'll say this, and I'll let Jessica jump in. Look, well, the Democrats aren't going to be happy till we shut down every Border Patrol station, put in welcome centers, and hand everybody a Democratic voter registration card. This is about future Democratic voters. Let's just say it. I mean, that's what it's about.
Jessica?
Well, let's remember that the bed mandate was invented by Congress in order to get a minimum level of enforcement, to make sure that that the immigration authorities were enforcing the law at least at a certain level, and the Democrats are now flipping that to say, well, you can't go over this level. This is a return to the last years of the Obama administration, when they were releasing tens of thousands of criminal aliens every year. And again, as Tom said, they go back into the communities and commit more crimes. It's imposition of a really
So
a
what is the
national version
president
of a
going to do,
sanctuary
Jessica?
policy.
What is the president going to do?
He needs to stick to his guns. I like the way that he is going down to Texas to show Americans that there is really a border
Well, what's he going to do?
crisis.
Because this is the president who said words mean nothing, that it's politicians talk.
Look,
and,
I'll tell you what.
Well,
and
actions
he is
speak
a man
louder
of
than
action.
words.
So what is he going to
Absolutely.
do, Jessica?
Well, I think he's going to do everything within his power to make sure
Is he
that the
gonna build
laws
a
get
wall?
enforced. Yes, absolutely. You
Is
just
he
heard
going to
the
declare a
ninth-
national emergency?
It may be a version of a national
Okay,
emergency,
Tom?
and he'll
I'll
get
tell
it
you,
done.
look, I talked to the president this weekend. He's not going to let this happen.
Is he going to build a wall?
He certainly will build a wall.
Is he going to declare a national emergency?
He won't let. He will not agree to this. What's on the table? So he's either going to shut it down, declare emergency. He will not let this happen to this country.
Yeah, and
He's
meanwhile,
he's too
we
great of a
should-
president.
Yeah, we're watching thousands of illegal immigrants enter this country, and it's got to stop now, because it is just exactly what the president said. It is a national emergency.
Yes.
And by the way, every bit as much of a national emergency are the recalcitrant Democrats, the radical Dems, who are fighting our border security, our national sovereignty, and this president's lawful power.